So I'm going to add all of these tracks into DeMix, and we're going to select multiple tracks. Select all the tracks, or you can go to Edit, Select All, and then I'm going to go ahead and select all for my stems. And one additional thing I like to do is do an additional extraction on drums on the residual part, because there's always a little bit more drum material, it seems like, in that part. So we start and we wait probably 10 to 15 minutes or more. So that took about 15 minutes for 6 tracks, and this is what you get. So as you can see, they're all perfectly lined up. And now I'll go through all these tracks and see which ones actually captured something. And you might have to select multiple tracks and then choose right click and merge in the cases where there's no content in the track. And the other thing you want to do is, generally in the residual track, you can do a second separation for drums, and you can actually select multiple of the residual at once to do that. Okay, so we've cleaned up the tracks now and renamed our tracks, and we can actually use the residual as an underscore in a lot of instances. So I've renamed some of the residual tracks or the backing tracks to underscore, because we're dealing with sync music after all. So now all that's complete. I can take this stuff here, put it in the trash, and we can begin the export process. So simply click this, all tracks, choose our format, and it's pretty quick. So that's all 6 tracks now, and we can see it's even given them the appropriate names for the track. The final step for this phase is to select all the tracks and use an automation to rename all the files to have your stem attribute. So when I upload these, they're all going to have a stem, my publishing name, track name, and the kind of track that it is. And finally, we reach disco. So we can go ahead and drag the files over into a new playlist or into an existing stems playlist and simply let the files upload. All of our tracks are uploaded into the playlist here, and we don't even have to worry about saving this playlist. It automatically gets added to the tracks. And from here, we simply go into our track and then choose Manage Nesting. And then we're going to choose Add Existing Track, and we have to type the name stem that we gave it. So it found the right track. Found 2 different versions of this track, but let's add them all and then we can separate them later. So there are the tracks, and now we want to add them to the stems region. So we'll identify them as stems tracks. And now, just to conclude, we just need to add the tracks metadata and other information. So we're going to go to copy track info from this track, which is copying from the main track. And then we simply search for our title, or it may pop up here, and add the appropriate tracks. You can choose Add All and then remove the ones that don't match as necessary. And then simply choose Copy Track Info, and it happens very quickly.